Because it's finished now, basically.
This is it.
This is it. This is the song.
What's gonna
okay,
go
this is what's going to
world.
get released. Okay, this is very exciting. Okay, let's listen. Today is a special day, an exciting day, and kind of nerve-wracking day. I'm going over to Colin Fowlie's, a producer friend of mine, and we're going to listen for the first time a track that I recorded and have been working on for a while. It's already cool to listen to a track you've recorded when it's finished, but in this case, this track is even more exciting, but also more stressful because I've written this song as a very vulnerable and personal song about my journey with panic disorder. You may have heard me talk about it if you've watched my videos before, but it's something I've had for a long time. I had my first panic attack at 8 years old, started having more of them in my teen years, and that's when it became a panic disorder. Now I have like agoraphobia. I struggle with traveling and different situations where like the fear of panic attacks is so strong that I avoid things. And just this past Christmas, it got really bad. I didn't really know how I was going to survive it, to be honest. I just didn't know where to turn, even though I have a great supportive partner and I have awesome kids, and winters have always been hard for me, and it just overwhelmed me. I don't think I've ever been that low. In that same time, I was working on this song with Colin. It's called Suddenly Violently, and that's how a panic attack can feel. It's sudden and it's violent, and it just kind of consumes everything in that moment. All that to say, I'm going over to Colin's here in the next 15 minutes. I'm going to set up the camera. I'm going to bring you guys with me, and we're going to listen to it for the first time. Hi. Every time I do this, the camera does not want to stay. Yeah, on our way to Colin's now. As you can see outside, it's winter again. It's almost April. We had like an early spring, and now it's just back to winter again. This has been a hard winter for me, so I'm so excited to get this winter over with, and the fact that it just keeps hanging on is not my favorite thing. Run the River is in recording right now for our first album ever, and so that's exciting. We've been working on lots of new songs, lots of new content. The band almost fell apart in the fall. We lost a band member. It was really difficult, and I wasn't sure if I wanted to continue on with everything. And I was doing some music with Colin, and I was feeling like that's really fulfilling, and maybe it's time to call it quits on the band. But, you know, we kept going, and honestly, I can say that we're having more fun now than we've ever had. That's really important, to have fun. It's really important to have fun when you're playing music. It should be fun. We are at the studio now, and I'm going to
Listen to your master for the first time. Whenever you're ready, just take the mouse there.
Yes. Man, what a mouse.
Click on play.
Finished song. Because it's finished now, basically.
This is it.
This is it. This is the song.
What's going to
Okay, this is what's going to get released. Okay, this is very exciting. Okay, let's listen.
Violently, his thoughts becoming clear. Me silently, filling up with fear. In spite of every supportive word I hear, I'm still broken beyond love's repair, my dear. Heavy eyes and an avalanche of tries. If I resign, it should come as no surprise. They say that tangled thoughts befall the wise. I'm so sick of lessons learned from the sunrise, and all that I've said will become echoes in someone else's head. And all of these stars. Final try at healing all these scars. And all my life I've been running like I knew something was coming. I was hoping it'd be loving, but the shadows fall so sudden. All my life I've been running like I knew something was coming. I was hoping it'd be loving, but the shadows fall so suddenly, violently, suddenly, violently. All my life I've been running like I knew something was coming. I was hoping it'd be loving, but the shadows fall so sudden. All my life I've been running like I knew something was coming. I was hoping it'd be loving, but the shadows fall so suddenly, violently, suddenly, violently.
Yeah, man. Oh, man.
It would be so great if that was the first time, like you heard that.
I know.
As opposed to there being like mixed revisions and
there's no way.
1.22 and.
Well, I gotta say, like, probably, and even that time, like, you know, it's funny because like hiding vulnerability is kind of what we're accustomed to, like as human beings, like, and so the song's vulnerable.
It is.
And then like listening to it, it like makes you feel vulnerable too, like because it's listening to it, and then, you know, so I could feel kind of like emotions at one point, and kind of, because the song, like, especially the part where it's like, all my life I've been running, like that's probably the part that hits the most home for me on an emotional level, that like it's hard not to kind of be emotional thinking about it.
Yeah.
Because it's tiring, right? Like running your whole life and kind of like dealing with that. The fact that it can always feel like doom and gloom, like things are, you know, but most times when I listen to it, there's like, my eyes are tearing up a little. and really it's because the tone of the song. I was talking a little bit on the way here in the car, like I had the camera set up, and I was just saying, like, it's somber, but it's also, there's like a hopefulness to it. Absolutely, which yeah. And I think especially when your solo comes in, like it feels warm and comforting. And so like obviously as someone who deals with like panic disorder, like, you know, you don't want to make a piece of art that you listen back to and go like, oh man, like that makes me feel more like pained or something, or
yeah, no,
and it doesn't do that for me. Like,
no, you want art to be like a cathartic experience. You know, especially art like this. And so like within the production, there are some things that are meant to, you know, it's meant to kind of be a journey where, and I appreciate you leaving space in the middle to be like, I would like you to say something here.
Oh, I'm so glad I did.
I'm glad you did too. And, you know, when I was working on that instrumental bit, which is it's more than guitar solo, it's like a bit of a tapestry.
It is.
Getting woven together.
Yeah, there's so much stuff.
Because it started with the acoustic piece.
Yeah.
Like this, when I was just screwing around on the acoustic guitar, you resonated with certain ideas that I was doing, and I'm like, okay, well that's the foundation, and then the electric guitar solo and the way the piano plays each other, it all started with the acoustic guitar. So
okay, yeah, I mean,
and then at the end of that, I left more space than maybe feels comfortable. Like there's meant to be an element of anticipation, or like I'm anxious right now. And then the last part of the song, and the whole thing peaks the last time you sing violently. It's like it's
everything.
Like 4 of you, 2 or 3 of me, just the thing tapers off.
Yeah, and just the way that I got to shout out to Jason Flores too, like the way the bowed bass like comes in there, and it's just like beautiful.
Yeah.
The mastering sounds amazing.
Yeah.
I've mentioned to you, like my ears I'm not like a trained technician or anything, but like even once you mixed it too, I was just like, oh man, this is sounding just so smooth. And
you were happy once we had everything recorded, and I just bounced the session going, oh, this sounds great.
No, exactly.
Yeah, no. It's just,
well, I knew it was kind of
it's gonna get mixed.
Yeah, the process working with you on this and the song previous, the Cold Like This, which I kind of talked about a little too, is like, I don't know, it's I think it's what you hope for with a collaborative relationship, where like sometimes it feels like collaboration stuff gets lost or cut away and discarded for someone else's vision, and it's cool when collaboration is kind of like we kind of climb the mountain together.
Absolutely.
We're kind of going up, and then like you're shouting out like, I found a rope over here to grab onto, and then like I'm grabbing it, and then and then I hand a little handhold, and by the time we get to the top of the mountain, we're like, we collaboratively got there.
No, absolutely.
And it's cool.
You brought some ideas, we riffed on it. I took things to a particular place, and then, you came back in and had some ideas, and, once you like layered the extra, that last harmony session, for example.
Yeah.
It's like, I was thinking, well, we'll just kind of leave it sparse and vulnerable.
And I was so scared.
Once those were in there, like I can't hear it any other way.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay. Yeah.
So I think that, we've collaborated a couple of times, and we don't, like, neither one of us is happy till we both love a thing, and an idea isn't a good idea unless, having absorbed it, we can't hear the song any other way anymore.
Yeah,
that's like, I know it's a high bar to clear, but we seem to get ideas over that bar with regularity. Right?
Yeah, twice now.
Yeah.
So, like, and this one I would say even, I don't know if I talked to you about this in one of our voice messages. Colin and I like to send like 8-minute voice messages back and forth. And, like this to me, even like, yes, Cold Like This was like a really great project, but this is like my journey, and that was kind of like making a song for another thing.
Yes.
And so this even more so, I think, has set a bar for my own creative process of being like, okay, this is what it feels like to record a song, to write a song, to have it produced, to collaborate on it, and then have a finished product that I'm like, okay, that's the story.
Yeah.
Like for me, that's the story of, I can say I've put now my panic disorder story into a musical form that I can now always say, for people, for their own journey, like to not feel, hopefully to feel less alone. For myself, feeling like something positive comes out of a negative spot. So
absolutely. And, we talk about this. I know it's like an idea that we've both stolen from Rick Rubin.
Yeah.
We use it regularly. And I use this with basically all the artists that I work with, because when it comes to something blowing up and being successful, we have some control over that, but not really. The most important thing is that we don't compromise in the interest of trying to find success, but rather we kind of, roll up our sleeves and dig in and make something that we love as much as possible. And, as a producer, you give me a lot of freedom to explore things. And, as an artist, you write these beautiful, vulnerable songs that they're so inspiring, especially, I understand the story behind it. And I'm fortunate, like I haven't experienced, panic disorder or panic attacks as part of my own mental health journey. I have my own separate issues that I manage, but, I tried to encapsulate a lot of the things that you've told me in like a musical way. And I tend to produce and mix and all of that kind of stuff in a very visual way with my eyes closed, where, you know, if I tune out other stimuli, I see the music in my head as like a series of almost like light, and like I'm trying to paint the picture and have things kind of dance around. And, you know, some folks you'll see on tutorials on the internet, like, do this to, you know, mix like a pro. I'm like, fine. I close my eyes and then I push the thing until it tickles the right part of my brain the right amount.
That's amazing.
With a wide enough musical stroke, and then
yeah.
So that's why I don't give mix tips.
Yeah, tickling the brain is something that, you know, it might be unique to you in that way, where you feel the tickle the way you feel it. Yeah. It's funny, I was watching a video on, his name's Benny Blanco, and he's a producer who also like worked with Rick Rubin, is very like, I don't know that he's an understudy of his, but like respects kind of Rick's process, and has a similar kind of vibe. Even though he does a lot of pop music, his vibe is very much like, if the artist isn't feeling it, we're not going to do it.
Yeah.
And he said, like, how does he know when a song's successful? And he said for him, it was similar to like a brain tickle, but he said it's like, he just gets this feeling of like joy, and like he just can't stop smiling, and then he's just like, okay, I know I've hit that like spot.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so it's that, or like, you know, when I listen to the song, I'm driving, it's almost like when I listen to Suddenly Violently a couple times in the car, the times where it caught me off guard and I would start getting emotional were the times that I was paying attention, but also just driving and not necessarily like trying to absorb the song too heavily.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden I'd just be like, oh, like that, the way it feels is hitting me in just the right way to kind of make it resonate. So that's a tickle my heart.
Yeah. Perfect.
And yeah, so it's been a really cool process, and now we just got to figure out a way to get it out there.
Oh yeah, that's the next step, but we have plans.
Yeah.
Well, we have some plans, and we're going to make more.
We're going to make more plans. Well, this has been, I'm so more excited with this song to release than I have been about any other song. So
no, I'm glad, and that's where I want to put things for the artists that I work with, right? And
yeah.
Yourself especially. Like, I want you to. We have to do so much self-promotion as artists, because I mean, I do my own music as well, right?
Yes, yeah.
And if we aren't in love with the thing, and if we aren't excited to share it, that shows in the.
It does,
right?
Yeah.
It's like, here's
a thing.
I'm doing this because I have to feed the machine.
Yeah. Yeah, the feeling is totally different with this. It's like, because of the fact that I've been, you know, I think I tried to justify in some ways the reason why I've dealt with this in my life, or the reason why anyone goes through, if we can create a reason, if it's, you know, maybe it's just all chaos and whatever, but we like to give ourselves reasons and tell ourselves stories, is to share the stories and to then build community. It's funny, we interviewed Matt Carter yesterday with the podcast, and he's just all about community building. And I think like at a kind of fundamental level, like that should be our biggest concern, really, is like building community.
I'm gonna give you a hug.
Yeah, man.
Thank you for trusting me with this, and I look forward to the next one.
Yes, let's keep going.
Just keep trying to outdo ourselves.
It's such a huge accomplishment to work on something with a producer, and he has captured so well the content. He's captured so well the tone that this song needed to kind of convey, like I said, the subject matter, which is, you know, related to my journey with panic attacks. It's a serious thing, but, you know, and the song is somewhat somber, but you don't want it to be overwhelmingly somber, because it's also my life, right? So I don't want to think that my life is like overwhelmingly somber. I love life. It's beautiful. I'm passionate about it. So I think this song also captures that, hopefully.